starting us up here. Hey, everybody. Good evening. Good evening to all of you watching and all ships at sea. Hey, Big Ace, how are you this evening?
Hello.
We started a little bit late because I had some internet problems here at the studio, wherever I'm at. Whoop. I'm just got to adjust everything. So, Big Ace, you are back from the fabulous Jericho Cruise number 2.
The dude.
And gosh, what a fantastic trip that must have been for you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The first time around was a great time as well. But yeah, so was hoping that the good times would continue. I like your backdrop, by the way.
Thank you.
That's a really cool picture.
I know it's born of my jealousy.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was first of all, it was just a much needed vacation. You know,
Yeah.
like I really, with the exception of Waterloo, I hadn't had and I don't count Waterloo as a big trip.
Mm-hmm.
Waterloo, Iowa, because it isn't. It's 2 hours away from my apartment. And it's also like you're in Iowa, you're in Waterloo. Not knocking, anyways. By the way, not knocking it. I know you have Iowa ties, and we have a lot of Iowa friends, so I'm not knocking it by any means. But it's also just not like no one's going like, "What are you doing for your vacation this year?" Going to Des Moines.
Yep. Yeah. It's not one of those spots where you're thinking to yourself, "Oh my God, I hope it doesn't." I hope I can get a room because it's going to fill up. That's not the case.
Yeah,
but
Adventureland is about as big as probably the entrance to Disneyland. So,
yeah.
And if you're from Iowa, you'll know that.
But now let's say this: you were on the cruise and you went, and some of your friends were along, and one of your friends who you met. Did you meet on the last Jericho cruise? Was that where you met them?
Yeah, first time around.
All right, and we're going to bring her in right now. Hello and good evening, Erica. How you doing?
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
My God, how awesome to have you here. I got to see you on television as well.
Did you see me?
Well, yeah, I screamed right from my own back. I did. I screamed right from my room, and I said, "Holy God!" Because I saw Dave once.
Okay.
I saw Big Ace one time, and then they never showed that shot again. But I saw you a couple of times.
Yeah.
So
I think you would have seen me more if there weren't a couple of 6'7" behemoths standing right in front. But what can you do?
You can always give them a nut shot, and they'll get down.
That's why I appreciate Mass Comedian X, because he's a tall fellow as well, and he's completely fine standing in the back.
Yeah,
not fighting to get front row, knowing well no one behind him can see.
That's the way you're supposed to do it. In fact, that's how Hillbilly Jim got discovered. So I'm as old as I am, I'm still hoping that I will be discovered, and somebody's like, "Hey, yeah, we put that big fat son bitch on the ring." No, that'll never happen. But So Erica, this is also your second time on the cruise, yes?
Yep. 2 times.
So what do you think? Was the first trip better than the second one, or the second one better than the first?
It's really hard to compare because with the first one, we had absolutely no expectations. We had all of the expectations and none of them. We thought it could be the best vacation ever or the worst. It could have been. There were so many things about the first one that made it great other than the expectations. But there are a lot of things that went better this time around. I'm sure you've seen on social media how much better the meet and greets were organized, the photo ops, everything like that. But it's really hard to compare the two. They were so different. They had no idea what they were doing the first time. This time, the talent was completely different. You have AEW versus, the Ring of Honor versus Impact. It was just really hard to compare them. They were both tons of fun.
There's so much difference between the talent that was on board. But But of course, there was a lot of talent that was not necessarily associated with AEW that were on as well. Out of those folks that were, well, let me ask you these two questions. First of all, who is your favorite AEW talent you got to actually meet? And then secondly, who was your non-AEW talent or legend that you got to meet?
I mean, I feel like I can answer the first one for.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you get your hug with Audrey?
No, I never. Well, so I got a photo with all of the AEW women, and that one was excellent because it included Penelope, Nyla, Britt, Riho. I mean, it was all of the women who were on board. Riho. I feel like I'm missing one, and Aubrey. Aubrey Edwards, by far, in my opinion, the most over woman in AEW. I think she was the most over woman on the boat until Riho tagged with Kenny. When Riho came out and had that match with Kenny, I mean, she was so over. So yeah, I think meeting the women might have been the highlight for me. Thank you for answering that, Dave, because that would have been hard to narrow it down. I don't know that I got to meet many legends. I didn't go to any of the legend meet and greets or legend photos, other than the one. So the people who booked the first 400 cabins all got to get a professional photo with Jericho. So that was
wow, that's cool.
And then I ended up. I mean, he's everywhere on this ship. If there's a live concert after Fozzie's been on, he's there. So I made a point to get to most of the live shows that I could. And on the last night, he was jamming in the audience, still in his Danny Zuko costume. And I got a selfie with him there. So if Jericho counts as a legend, he was probably the best one. I did meet Chavo briefly, too. That was cool.
I think absolutely Jericho goes down as a legend. Do you think that he slept at all while he was on that cruise?
Man, no. I mean, none of us did, and they had a lot more to do than we did. So I can't imagine he slept more than 4 hours a night because we didn't.
I feel like an old man this time around on the boat because I definitely got like 6 to 8 each night. Like I was such an old man this trip around for some reason. Like midnight was hard to get to for me.
Jason made me go to bed 1 or 2 nights because he's like, it's bedtime. I'm like, okay. And I'm sure I didn't go down without a fight, but he was the wiser of us and, made me get my rest when I needed it. So.
So now I didn't get to watch Dark tonight yet. To be honest, I don't even know if it's on because I got home late. But I am assuming that some of the matches that they taped on the boat are going to be on Dark. And I then also assume that there were some probably pretty cool matches that were not recorded at all on the boat because I just assume that they don't record maybe they do. I don't know.
I think they had a camera out during all the show. They just didn't have production like they did for the Dynamite.
Yeah, I think everything was done on Steadicam or some sort of handheld. But I didn't watch Dark either. Just from what I saw briefly on social media, there were not a lot of matches from the cruise. It was more, I think more of them were filmed in Miami the week before.
Gotcha.
But again, I haven't watched it either. But I'm sure there's probably matches that we'll never see televised or even on YouTube. I mean, there was a match where Frankie Kazarian and Adam Page were supposed to have a singles match, and instead they had a drinking contest. So I doubt that one will ever be broadcast to the masses. But who knows? Who knows?
It's going to make great content when they start making AEW DVDs or Blu-rays or
the drinking contest. Was it a tie? I think it was a tie. It was a 2 out of 3 falls, and so
you drank till you fell.
The first, Page won the second, and then I think they tied the third.
Yeah,
and then they had a match.
Yeah.
After chugging 3 beers. I don't even know how they did it.
I'm surprised they didn't vomit right off the bat.
Probably didn't. They probably puked 20 minutes later.
Yeah, probably. Probably. All right. So you took in some of the music that was on board, I assume?
I did a lot, as much as I could.
All very good. Did you take in any of the comedy?
No.
Yeah.
We saw the headlining Gabriel Iglesias show on the last night. And actually he had all of the comics out that night. But I didn't go to any of the individual comedy shows. And the only podcasts we did was Meltzer.
Yeah, I didn't see Bo Jingles, and after that Gabriel said, I was like, I'm good. I didn't see that. I didn't.
I would just assume having done a show on a boat, not nearly that large, of course, that it was probably a difficult proposition for him to even keep the audience's attention, because everybody's so hopped up for other stuff.
Yeah, you know? If you're going to a comedy show, you're in the theater though, so it's pretty set up.
Oh, it was in the theater?
Yeah, for most of those. I wish I would have went to Craig Gass after seeing him do
Same
with Gabriel. I wish I would have went and saw Craig Gass.
Craig Gass is awesome, dude.
I had never, I mean, I knew of his TV credits and stuff and his voice work, but I had never seen him live. I didn't even know he was on the last cruise until they're like, and joining us for the second time. I was like, okay. Right. But there was a lot of stuff I missed on the first cruise, so I don't even know where
if he's there next year, go right up to him, because I'll tell you this: Craig Gass is not only a tremendous talent, but he's a really cool guy. And he's been up here to Minneapolis a number of times, and you know.
Did you hear the story about Bruce Jingles apparently running around on the last night on his hallway, butt naked, knocking on doors?
I heard that there was someone running around butt naked, and then someone accused it of being Jingles, and I was like, "Oh my goodness gracious!"
After I seen that someone said his name, tons of other people were like, "I saw him too." Yeah, apparently he just got wasted that last night and was just naked running up down the hall knocking on.
I want to know, speaking of like running up and down halls and knocking on doors, I want to know if anybody actually ever knocked on Moxley's door, because on the first night he told was it MJF that came out, was supposed to have a match with him and said no? Oh, Sammy Guevara was supposed to have a match, and Moxley's like, well, you know where you can find me, I'm in cabin 5036 or whatever. I'm wondering if anybody actually knocked on that door to look for Moxley.
I thought I saw a picture of the door. Like, I thought I saw someone took a picture of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear if anybody knocked. I seen someone ask about it. And
that's funny.
They said they did. That's funny.
Well, whoever was in that cabin was probably pissed.
Right.
I mean, it couldn't be him. He just seems like that guy that's gonna say the wrong number just to be like, ha ha.
It like couldn't be him, but at the same time, he's throwing somebody else totally under the bus if people decide to knock. So I don't know.
I think it was probably someone else on the roster's room.
Oh, maybe.
You know what I mean? That's a good call. Because then he's just like, now I'm messing with you.
Exactly, yeah.
So
hilarious. So I assume you got some merch to bring back from the ship.
Where it's backwards. There it is. Okay. So behind me, yep, we got the foam fingers.
Yes.
And a little bit of the bubbly. I can bring that closer if you'd like.
No, I'll just pop you up here closer. Boom. Whoops. That wasn't the way to do it. There's the way to do it. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Yes. A little bit of the bubbly. I see it now.
Yep. I'm wearing my Cruises Jericho shirt.
Nice.
Oh, let's see. I'm going to stand back a little bit for this. Cruises Jericho.
Yes, very nice.
What else?
They gave us a luggage tag.
Koozies. What's that?
We got another luggage tag too.
We got another luggage tag. They always give you a lanyard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the freebies this year were actually almost better than the merch they had in the store. Because we got, again, if you were in the first 400 cabins and got that Jericho photo, they gave you a t-shirt as well that had a really great, like, kind of logo that said, Jericho Cruise Part 2, which was almost better than the merch in the store. And the merch in the store did not last. They did not print enough or could not, understand the demand, or, well, part of it, I was waiting to get a hoodie, and then it was like 50 degrees on the boat one night. So I'm pretty sure the hoodies sold out faster than they would have. But
perfect.
I was the dummy that bought a poster on the last day.
Yeah.
And then carried it around the airport and left it in Miami at the
No.
Are you kidding?
Totally just got up, got on the plane, sat down, buckled in, looked at my nephew, and I was like, I left the poster on the chair.
Well, we learned our lesson from our last couple wrestling trips to bring a poster tube. And then we zip tied it to Jason's backpack so we wouldn't do that.
That is a good idea. I thought I was just being smart by carrying it and not making it fit in my luggage like I did the first time around.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, I'm winning. So I don't know. I contacted Sixth Man and whoever the one was in charge, I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
She answered back and said that if they have any that come through, she's going to send one, but it might be a while. Good. But then also everybody else was like, ask Pro Wrestling Tees. I guess they made them. So
yeah,
I'm going to reach out to those guys. But I was so mad. I was just like,
was that the only thing you bought there down there?
I didn't go to the well, we went in it earlier on, but we just kind of did a walkthrough real quick. But we didn't actually go in there till the last day just to see what was left. And I had already talked with you guys, and you kind of were like, "There's nothing really left in there." Yeah. But we were like, "Let's go look." I just really was more like, I wanted to get the poster. I have the one from the first year. I want to get the second one.
Yeah,
and we'll just see what else was there. My nephew got a shirt. They didn't really have anything. So like, I love Jericho. He's amazing. And tell me if you agree, Erica. But the teal shirt with him on the like, it just looks weird. It's too much.
It's they had, was that the same one that they had in like a dark blue? They had like a teal one and a
I think where he's just like full body in your face on it in the front.
That might be the one Jason got, just because it was the only thing they had left in his size. There were two that I think had like kind of the Cruise logo on it. The one that Jason got definitely has a cartoon version of Jericho. They all kind of do. Mm-hmm. Jason's has like a cartoon version of Jericho, and it says "You're welcome" in like big letters, or "Thank you," or whatever his "Thank you, you're welcome" gimmick is.
Right.
Yeah. So I think they're all kind of goofy, but fun. I mean, I made sure I was like, before we went, I was like, will you wear it? Like, it's one thing to buy a souvenir, but like, are you going to get some use out of it?
That's true. I used to go to WrestleMania and I'd go to the Superstore and just buy stuff and then come home. And like, I wore that WrestleMania shirt twice. Or why did I need 5 different New Orleans logoed WrestleMania t-shirts? It was just, I didn't need it. And I ended up just giving them all away.
Yeah.
But
one interesting part of the cruise that has been a bone of contention between Ace and I for many, many months was the fact that they were not live on the boat. And I'm very disappointed by that because it cost me a t-shirt.
I don't know. I haven't gotten it yet.
Well, you're not going to get it until I can, order it. You just want the regular old Orange Cassidy one with his regular picture of him on his shirt, right?
Yeah, if you can find it. I don't know. Do they sell it anymore though? Because
I'm sure they still got it at Pro Wrestling.
Not an AEW shirt, but here's the thing though. That was just because they didn't do the show live, right? That was the bout that they
correct. Because I honestly, I mean, the more I thought about it, but I certainly couldn't back down. I mean, I thought, oh God, what if it rains? Well, then they're screwed. I mean, so there were other obstacles, ones that you didn't bring up, that were more relevant to the reason that they wouldn't have done it live. But I still believe that they could have done it live had they truly wanted to.
Well, and this was the selling point for me. I know I told you this, Erica, but I wasn't gonna maybe go next year, but they announced that they're gonna do it live next year.
I get a t-shirt next year then.
Well, yeah, but you should just probably just come on the cruise next year.
Yeah, I think I will try to plan on that. In fact, I signed up right away when the email for pre-sale came, so I will know and not be shut out and not be crying on the Tuesday morning when you're hanging out at the nacho shop.
Well, here's the deal too. You didn't even have to do that because you can just bunk with me and my nephew and we'll get a bigger room. And you're already going to get first priority now.
Well, then that's even better.
Yeah. So.
And it might cost less if you're sharing with 3 people instead of 2.
Yeah, we can actually get a balcony this time.
Yeah, fancy.
And we want to get one with a deck so we can catch a couple of fish.
Right.
Like at night after everything is done, when you're winding down, you'd like to stick a pole out the window and see what you can't catch.
You just imagine watching a big, massive cruise ship leaving port, and you just see someone walk out and reel in from their just little deck. That would be the best thing ever.
It would. I went on a cruise a long, long time ago, and I saw fish. Right, you could see them right there as the boat was docked, and you certainly could have caught them.
Here's the deal, though: when you come next year, you're going to have to be in gimmick all the time, which means the mask is not good. Which means we have to get you a better, comfortable mask before this.
Well, this one is, here's the thing. I'm not trying to brag, but I've lost a little weight, and this is not nearly as sore on my jowls as it used to be. And I'm not wearing that blue goddamn. The blue one's nice, but I ain't wearing that one. That ain't the right one.
Yeah.
This is the one. This is the one that goes with the logo. And how can I mean, it's like, oh yeah, he's wearing a yellow mask. Well, what the hell's that? So I can't do that.
Very true.
I was also thinking, this is funny, and I don't know. I am sure if somebody hasn't done this already, I'm going to try to do it. Why is there not a T-shirt like with Old Deer on the front of it, and it says Old Bucks on it? I thought I could put a headband on like one of them, and then I'd go around and I'd be one of the Old Bucks.
I mean, they're going to do a wrestling themed night on the boat next year. They do it every year. So you're going to now do that on the boat.
Yep.
All right. I'll be one of the Old Bucks.
Oh, that'll be classic.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah. I can't wait for this. So Erica, what was your favorite MJF story you heard from the cruise or saw?
Oh,
there's went around.
So, oh my God. I think my two favorites are, before we got on the boat, there was a Catholic priest on the boat. And before we got on the boat, he tweeted something at MJF, and MJF tweeted back saying something like, "It's a good thing you're a Catholic priest because you'd never get laid anyway," or like something like really bad burn, And so he went up at the photo session and just got roasted from what I could tell. I don't know what words were said, but I didn't witness any MJF encounters. So I don't.
You guys didn't see any?
What's that?
You guys didn't see any?
Oh, actually, he yelled at me. Come to think of it, so I was standing in a different line for a photo, and he. Oh, I booed at him. He did something mean to somebody else, and I booed. And he's like, "Yeah, well, I'm not the one standing in line for a famous person," or something like that. And I did yell back. Obviously, I had no voice by A, he's MJF, so my rebuttal was probably crap anyway. B, I'm not even sure if he heard me, but I was like, I'm not in your line though, and I never waited in his line. I don't have the gut. I can't handle it. I can dish it out, but I cannot handle it.
Yeah, that I can't remember his name. Did you actually talk to him, the priest guy? No. We were waiting to meet Gabriel Iglesias, and we got put in that lounge with the bowling alley.
Oh yeah.
And we were sitting next to him, and that's when he was showing me his pictures with MJF. Yeah. Was saying, he has one where he has his picture, and he's doing this, so you can't see, and MJF's flipping the camera
off,
and he's like, "I was flipping the camera off." Just like, Father, I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know. It was just the weirdest thing to have this conversation with it, because I thought he was kidding at first, but then he was like, "No, I'm really a Catholic priest."
Yeah. He tweeted photos him with 6 other priests and 2 bishops, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
he's just a priest who's a wrestling fan. That's cool.
Well, and then I saw him on the pool deck on one of the last nights, and the guy had his own chalice of wine. He's just sitting there thinking, I was like, what is going on with this guy?
Only the Catholics. Oh my goodness. I was raised Catholic, so I can.
Oh, it was great. And then so then there was a guy dressed as Jesus sitting by the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The whole. I was so mad that the Catholic priest never got to go sit with him, because those two together would have been great. I
I
mean,
do have a favorite photo that I saw of MJF though. Do you know, David? Do you know who Marjorie is?
yeah,
The woman that goes on all the six-man crews. Have you seen her photo with MJF?
yeah, with the security guard.
It's so good. So I wish I could just. I wish you could. Is there any way you could put the photo up if I found it? It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But you could. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe take me off while I find this photo.
All right.
The more I look at this photo, the more I love it because there's so much going on in it.
All right, I'm gonna pop you off. Give a wave when you find it.
Okay.
As I forgot to do, you mentioned the bowling alley, Ace, and you were talking about doing the bowling pro-am. Did you ever get involved in that?
No, it sold out in like 20 minutes.
Are you kidding?
Mm-mm. No, sold out so quick. Like people were trying to get on and couldn't. So,
wow.
I didn't even see it happen. The only mention I had heard of it on the boat was when I was talking with Lisa Verone, and when she was like, "Oh, I'm doing the bowling thing. Are you doing it?" And I'm like, "Oh no, sold out way too quick. Couldn't get into it." So
she was on it as a talent.
She was going to be one of the like celebrity
pro-am. Oh my god.
It was funny because people online were like, "Oh, can we bring our own ball?" And it's like, what? And you know me.
Oh yeah.
Been in bowling leagues together. You know that I can be quite competitive at that, and that I'm not that half bad.
Right.
When I'm, using my stuff.
What's your high game?
287.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. So like,
okay, so I found
people.
So the what you should be able to do.
Yep.
Is you should be able to where you are down on the bottom part it says share screen.
Yep.
You should be able to just pop that and it'll pop up, I think.
Oh, don't have anything that we shouldn't see on your either, though.
I don't care. This isn't a kid show.
Hey man, YouTube, they won't pay us if we're dirty.
They're not going to pay us anyway.
Not yet. Not yet. Ask.
Although I will say this, we did have over 200 views of our live show on Tuesday morning, which I actually ran as a premiere on last Tuesday at 8:00. And that was pretty cool.
That was a good time. It was worst nachos I've ever had in my life, but it was.
Oh my god, they're so bad. So yeah, they're terrible.
From the Hexagon.
1 second. Looks like I need to show you it from Chrome.
Oh yeah.
Chrome tab. There we go.
It's gonna be so great.
I hope it lives up to the hype.
If it doesn't, you're out.
So
yeah, there you go.
So much going on in this photo. MJ's looking right at the camera, the security keeping her. I keep looking at this photo and I laugh more and more every time I look at it.
And it's hilarious.
I don't know. There's so many good ones though. There are so many good ones.
Oh,
yeah. There's one where the guy, I guess he's apparently the only guy that got an autograph out of MJ a week, and it's on his forehead.
Yeah.
When I was in line to meet, I think it was the ladies of AEW, he came behind us on that line and was like, I asked him for his autographs.
Yeah.
It was just, we also saw him in the buffet. He was a table away and someone asked for a picture and they did the whole, I don't mean to bother you. And he was just like, then don't shut your mouth and keep moving. And then like some other people booed him and he's like, why are you even talking? Shut up. Like, just.
So he was in character the whole cruise.
The whole time. It was funny because, there were lines of people waiting to get photos with him, and sometimes it was a couple and sometimes it was a dude. Usually if it was a dude, he would like turn his back or flip them off or whatever. But if the chick was hot enough, he'd make her sit on his lap.
Yeah, too.
So Danny and Jen got their photos separately. And I don't remember what Danny's looks like, but Jen was made to sit on his lap, and of course, of course.
Perfect. Perfect. So Ace, did you get a picture with Penelope Ford this time? Finally,
I got the same group picture that Erica got with all the women. And like, yeah, you don't really get to talk to them. Like, there's too many of them. You just kind of walk away.
Well, yeah.
Hi. The only thing I said was Allie was right next to me, and I was like, I love the Demon Bunny. And she was just like, oh, thanks. And then that was it. Then I was just like, you guys are all amazing. And they're just, oh, hey, yeah.
They're like, get out of the way, next guy.
There was a lot of people freaking out over Aubrey, though. I did notice that because there was people in front of us that like were just losing their mind for her. So, and she was chanted every time she got in the ring. But
well, the fact of the matter is, holy cow, she's become. And you and I talked about this a long time ago. She, like, after the first show, became like the top referee in the company, and just. I watched the interview with her and Chris Van Vliet, and she's just seems like such a good person and a cool person that how could you not like her? And she does she's so fantastic in the ring, that it's almost better than some of the wrestling. I just like the old. Anyway,
he gets involved. Didn't she kick someone's like hand or foot off a rope during the boat at one point?
Maybe
it was MJF. I thought she kicked.
There were so many moments that
people were losing their mind. Yeah, she was definitely made with that first Jericho title match. Another big one, and like when it came out that he chose her, like full steam ahead for her. I mean, that was just the shot to the moon. Yeah. But it's well deserved too. So. Yeah, no. So the ladies were there. Brandy Rhodes wasn't there. That was kind of sad,
right?
Since her passport apparently got stolen. But yeah, otherwise, picture wise, I didn't do much. Picture wise, autograph wise, nothing. I got my autograph with Gabriel Iglesias because that was like mission one for this whole cruise. Was I had to do that. I did that. It's over there, but it's signed. So that was like the big check mark for the whole week. I waited an hour and a half for a picture with Cody, and the whole time I was pissed just because I was like, I've met him before. Why am I standing here? Because my nephew hasn't met him yet, so he wanted to, and I'm just like, fine, I'll wait. And Cody's cool, so it's always good when you meet him. That was like it. I didn't really do. I talked to people, like talent and stuff like that. What's up? How's it going? I didn't really bother anybody on pictures or anything. I was just enjoying it, and that's, you see the people who are on the boat and it's just like, hey, here. Oh, I got to go over here. Let me get a picture here. And like my nephew was kind of like that. I'd be like, hey, there's so-and-so, go ask him for it. And he would, but like, I just enjoy being able to interact. I don't know. I mean, it's nice, but
I think the guy that was everywhere all the time and has the best stories from the last night of the cruise was Jake Hager.
Yeah.
Jake Hager was bombed on the last night of the cruise. Just like was partied out, must have been exhausted, must have been drunk off his ass. Was just, again, like the MJF photos, like there's a whole, in the Facebook group, there's a whole string of people posting their MJF photos. There's a whole string of people posting their partying with drunk Jake Hager photos, and they're all better than the next, like the MJF photos.
Yeah.
But even before the last night, he was a lot of places, and he was really easy to approach for a 6'8" dude.
That's funny because when we did our show on Tuesday, he said he didn't say anything.
Yeah, he no-sold me hard on the Bahamas day. Like we were getting ready to leave, he walked by. I was like, "Hey, Mr. Hager," and I was like, I was about to be like, hey, I'm supposed to talk to you for West Briscoe. And like, he just didn't even look at me, just walked by. He looked pretty angry too at that time though. So I don't know if he had a rough moment.
Yeah.
And later on, my nephew asked him for a picture. I was, like, hey, I do a show at West Briscoe. He told me if I see you, I need to say hello. And then that's what's, so yeah. So we also did a show last night, Wes and I. It's on our YouTube, Briscoe and Big A show. So you can check that out. It was a good show, so check it out. But yeah, so that's confirmed. We just don't have dates yet, but Chavo and Jake Hager are confirmed. And
nice.
There's a really, really big name being floated around for our live Waterloo show this year. So
I hope it's not Big Papa Dump.
No, not at all.
It's funny though, you were talking about your initial experience with Jake Hager, and I wonder if our experiences were different because sometimes I like either left like Jason's a cigar smoker, and so sometimes he was in the cigar room and I'm out and about and I ran into talent on my own. So I'm wondering if my experience as a woman alone was different than a man alone or a man in a couple, even, you know, with the appearance of a couple. So right. I'm wondering.
Yeah, he was cruising too because he came out of like the hallway and straight to the stairs, and I was just going, hey, and he looked pretty angry. And when I saw him later, he wasn't angry. Okay. Oh, hey, you know, it was funny too because me and Wes were talking about it, and Wes said he's like, well, dude, he's probably down not training that whole week. It's like the only time of the year he's not either training Bellator or for AEW when he's going to finally have his match. He's like, he's definitely letting loose. So it's like, yeah, that makes sense. That made a lot of sense. But yeah, he was a good time too. Chavo was very cool too. Very approachable if anybody got the chance to see Chavo Guerrero. Vicky was all over. Vicky was like one of the only people that was watching like the Fozzy shows with everybody else. She wasn't just standing behind the barricade.
Yeah.
At one point. But yeah, I mean, it's if anybody's thinking about doing the trip, it's definitely well worth it.
Do it.
Yeah, you meet great people. I mean, and that's what's funny too about just the wrestling community, because it doesn't even have to be the cruise. I mean, our one of our initial guests, Adam Daly, that's a friend that I met randomly on a party bus in Miami going to WrestleMania. Just happened to get married while we were on the bus. Like, weird stories like that is what happens. You meet friends that end up being, people that you keep in contact forever with and do things like this with. And then it's just the experience of, being around the talent, seeing shows, being part of something exclusive that not everybody is. So it's worth the money. It really is.
100%.
I know. See, I was going to ask you, did they use a bigger boat this year than they did the last year? The same.
It was basically the exact same.
Mm-hmm. We were surprised though they gave the number of cruisers who were on the first cruise and cruisers who were new. And so the total paying guests, I think, was about 2,100 and only about 800 were return guests. So 60-40 new.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. We were talking about that on the boat because it was like...
It felt like everybody we ran into was on the first cruise.
Right, and that's exactly true. That's why I was like, what? There's that many new... But then now that I think about it, though, there were a lot of people that I met that was just, oh, I've never been on this before. And it's like, oh, cool. But yeah, that was a weird number. I expected way more people returning from the first year.
Right.
But it was a whole different thing. Like you said, it was hard to compare the two.
Because
you had like basically an independent wrestling cruise with a rock band.
Yep.
To now a professional wrestling cruise with a rock band. And yeah, I was worried it was going to lose its personal feel and stuff because of it being a bigger company now, and it didn't at all. So
do you think some of the people that didn't return were fans of that indie feel?
Nah, I think money. It is.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap, no, but it's worth it. And
it's not cheap. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, and Six Man does a really good job, or Norwegian, however they do it together too, where you have options to make it more affordable to you. You know what I mean? So like, that's why it's always worth looking into. I would have never done it if I had to pay everything in full right away. But then when I realized, like, wait, they have kind of a cool payment plan that kind of works around my budget. Oh, I can make this work then.
Yep.
So
now that you say that, I'm going. Mark me down.
Yep.
We're gonna have to get like we have to get a balcony room now because
I got to sleep on a balcony. You're gonna hate it. I snore like crazy.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
And then I can fish.
There you go.
Fishing and snoring. That'll be my deal.
I don't see you sleeping much. I see you wandering all night.
Yeah, I usually have a hard time falling asleep. And, I can probably... I fall asleep after I eat. I'm like a bear that way. Yeah. I'm like, eat a little honey, fall a little sleep, wake up in September.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Well, anything else you'd like to talk about on the cruise? Anything that was a surprise to you? Anything that in terms of the Dynamite show that was a surprise to you as it came out?
Yeah, the finish to the tag match was a surprise. I didn't expect to see a title change.
Oh, I did. 100%. Yeah.
I hoped. I just didn't know if they'd do it.
I thought they might do it for two reasons. Obviously, no belt had changed hands yet, so we didn't know when, where, why, how to expect it. But I figured the first one would change on television because that gets more people watching the TV episodes. You never know what's going to happen on TV. And then the same with the boat. As soon as I realized we're filming television on the boat and it's the only belt that was being defended, I was like, they have to change it because now everybody's going to have to go on the next boat.
Yeah. And, coming on and knowing they were doing Dynamite, it was like they have to do something for the boat to make it special for everybody there. There's going to be a moment that if you weren't on that boat the first time they did Dynamite there, you weren't there for this big moment. So I think that was, and it was a really good match too.
It was excellent.
Cool.
Hangman separating from the Elite. Do you think that's the best story they got going right now?
I think I don't know if it's the best story, but I like it. I think it could be a long running thing. I think it could play into eventually. Because here's the deal. I think Marty's still eventually coming. Yeah, he's in ROH and all this stuff, but I think eventually he's going to bridge out and bridge over. NWA is already, and Nick Aldis has already talked about wanting to work with AEWA as well. I think we'll see all this stuff happen in the next year. And I think eventually it might be that you see Marty come back to join Hangman eventually. And that's a long run. They can burn this out pretty slow because they'll have the breakup. Then he can feud with a few of them, Kenny and then the Bucks or Cody, whatever, until it gets to that ultimate payoff. But we haven't had any like real true the Elite versus anybody else either yet. So
right.
Were there any appearances by the Dark Order on the boat?
No,
because nobody wanted to be creeped out on the boat.
Yeah, no Dark Order appearances, which is surprising. Also, considering Ali is married to one of them, and she was on the boat. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought for sure we were going to see a plane show up in Nassau with a lot of the talent, and that didn't.
Right. Yeah,
I really thought that they flew Shivani and Jim Ross and Excalibur in for it. Like, I figured they'd just charter a plane and fly the whole roster down for that show and then fly them back out.
I thought the same.
So when that didn't happen, I was really surprised because, I thought we'd get something Dark Order. Ali was there, so I figured Butcher and the Blade. And I don't know how you don't have best friends in Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy, right.
I just don't. They're so over. And people love them. Do you know how many people would be hugging that whole week here on the boat with those guys? Like anywhere they would walk on that boat, people would just be like, and it would have been amazing. That was a miss out. They have to be on it next year for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I just remembered Allie's married to Butcher and Blade, not Dark Order, first of all.
Oh yeah.
I got my spooky weirdos mixed up.
Speaking of spooky weirdos, that Butcher is just one weird looking cat, isn't he? And she's married to the other guy.
I think the other guy, yeah.
Because the other guy looks more like he could be married to a woman. I mean, let's be honest. That Butcher looks like he's friend to neither man nor beast.
Yeah, he's in a rock band though, so I'm sure he does okay.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Every Time I Die is the name of the band.
Oh.
And so I'm sure whatever his persuasion is, I'm sure he does just fine with.
All I can say is let him see if he can take on the old Bucks. See if the old Bucks can't
What's it about AEW and their wrestlers all of a sudden being musicians now? Fozzy and Chris Jericho, barely that guy in a band. If you were if you were on the boat, you got to see Marco Stunt sing Sunglasses at Night with Fozzy.
Yeah.
Twice.
One of the big things on the internet was Moxley singing at the karaoke. That's almost as good as a band.
Twice.
Yeah,
he did. Twice.
Caroline, and then he did Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They're really good at karaoke too. I saw Scorpio Sky getting jiggy with it.
Oh my goodness, he just loves his karaoke. And that guy does not take a bad photograph. He is so photogenic, it is crazy.
Him, like there was a few guys that all wherever they went, they were just cool. Like Scorpio was somebody that you could stop him at any time and he would interact with you.
Yeah.
Super
and all of SCU. All of SCU.
Yeah. And then Sammy Guevara was the same way. He stopped for anybody and everybody who would say his name.
Did you see him invade the Royal Rumble?
I saw some of it, but I didn't get to watch all of it. But yeah, did you see that, Mask?
No, is that on his YouTube?
I don't know. I think it was on like his Instagram or something.
Oh,
I just saw photos. If there's video, I haven't seen it.
There's video.
Is there? Okay, I'll have to find it. But
oh
he does his own invasion angle, and he rides in on this like little toy tank. It's like a Power Wheels tank.
Yeah. Because it's in Houston. I guess he's from Houston or lives in
Oh,
Houston.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So that's hilarious. And he didn't wrestle that much. He was supposed to, but he didn't because he himself get like the day before getting on the boat, taking his shoe off.
What?
Yeah, he couldn't get like the knot out on his shoe or boot or something, so he like yanked it off and he like popped something in his ankle. So if you watch his vlog, I watched his vlog tonight. If you watch it, like he shows you right before he
was supposed to wrestle, but he popped something trying to get his shoe off.
Well, and he still had that. Didn't he still have a match with Moxley that first night?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I mean,
it eventually. Yeah.
First night, but he was supposed to be on all the other shows too.
Oh.
Man, talk about an old buck. That's something I would do.
Because I was, to be honest, I was at a point where I was like, I feel like we're seeing all the same people on every show. They're just like switching opponents. Like, why is there no? But then you're like, Sammy was her, and like, it just, it was weird. The Young Bucks only did like one match.
Right.
It was just, where last year they all kind of were more involved. But
yeah.
Awesome.
Did you watch the Royal Rumble last night?
Did I? We were coming from a friend's house. We were celebrating their wedding, so I jumped in, and then we had trouble with our stream. I jumped in the middle of the women's rumble.
Okay, yeah, you didn't. That's why.
So we can start right from there, because anything else that happened before that really sort of and we'll just do a real quick. The Bailey and Lacey Evans.
That was the thing.
Yeah, it was. That's exactly what the sound that came over my TV. I like, you know what? I like them both, but God, it's just so nothing.
I like heel Bailey was cool when she was like ripping up her inflatable tube men.
Yeah,
but now it just seems like she's just a whiny teenager.
Now she's like apathetic heel Bailey, kind of like I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna cheat.
It's like the kids from South Park, like that now.
Yeah,
like sitting out by the back door, smoking, wearing black.
Andrade loses to Humberto, and then is promptly suspended for the wellness violation.
Well, Andrade beat Humberto. Retained the title.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Monday,
I don't know.
Yeah,
well,
Monday
technically, but he didn't get the pin, and then that's when he got taken out and bye for a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently appears to be retaining his title. That would have been the perfect opportunity to take it from him. But
well, I guess like Vince isn't high up on that Humberto kid anymore, though. Which is why he's kind of going heel now.
I mean, how many times?
No, that's not his spot. The spot they tried to give him, it's not his spot. That was Dominic's spot when he finally debuts.
Dominic
Mysterio.
Anyway, and I don't know what else happened up until that women's. The women's was kind of a mess as well, in my opinion. I mean, I thought so. I mean, there were.
I'll tell you what, the one
Shayna Baszler come in and was good. Some of the NXT people that came in were good, but it's like they didn't. Dakota Kai was not in there with Tegan at all.
Right.
And that's what they should have been in there together at least. So I mean, I get very picky about stuff, but that would have been one.
I was in it. I love her. She's the best. That turn at War Games was amazing.
So concern
watching that whole women's match was I was really concerned that like Beth Phoenix was going to bleed out of her.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, like I said, I only came in the middle of the Rumble, and at one point the camera's on her, and I was like, I really don't like this hairdo she has going on. Then I was like, oh, that's blood. Yeah. Like it took me. I was like, I thought it was like some weird, like half of it was blonde and half of it was Priscilla Kelly red, and then I was like, oh no,
she was bleeding like Flair.
Yeah. Totally. That's what I said to you. I was like, oh, she's flaring it up.
And that's what it became, though. I ended up watching her probably more than anything else, because every time she would take something on the back of the head or a kick to the back of the head, I think, oh my God, what the hell?
I was waiting for her to pick her head up from a bump and just see it pour out, like when Cody, or when Dustin and Cody had their match in AEW and Dustin was bleeding. Like that's what I expected. I mean, bravo to her for staying, because I was like, all right, they'll give her maybe 5 more minutes and they're going to have her get out. I didn't realize, though, they really set her up to shine in this, though, because they bring her in. That's already the big surprise. You then eventually bring Natty out to like bring them back together, which people love. And then you bring Santina Morello back to even play up the Beth Phoenix stuff even more. Like they really, that's awesome that they're like really showing that kind of respect to her.
Well, I mean, does it have something to do with her husband coming back too? Do you think?
I mean, that
big night for the Copelands.
Yeah.
Her tweet was pretty hilarious about that when she's like, oh, she said something about getting a sitter for dating. What do you want to do? And then she took a picture of both at the Rumble and the matches. And I'll always speak highly of Beth after getting to spend time with her, and she's been nothing but great to me and Wes. So she's an amazing person. So like, I was seriously like, I think they need to stop this match and take her out. That looks really bad. And then when you saw, I think it was maybe Charlotte or someone had her by the back, and when they
it
was just red. I was like, oh God.
Yeah, Charlotte had blood all down her shoulder from her.
Yeah, but that was I liked how it ended. I mean, Charlotte winning was a surprise. I thought Shayna was going to win.
We all did.
But I thought Shayna was going to come out earlier, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not at the end.
About where she didn't go with that.
Anyway, okay. So what was... then there was a...
Real quick, too. Shout-outs to Molly Holly for being in the Rumble.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was a cool surprise, I thought. How old is Molly Holly now? In her late 40s?
42 is what
42?
I heard. But
that's she's older than Edge.
Still awesome. She is. And I was really hoping Bliss would made it to the end as the number 1 entrant.
But I guess Bianca was the Iron Man for that match, right?
Right, yeah. Which cut her dang hair. I hate that she gets that. No one else gets a weapon. It's the hair should be illegal like that.
Yeah, but I like the way that Bliss held on to it so she didn't fall off. That was kind of nice to use it as a little rope ladder.
Very true. Yeah, it did help to that.
Enjoyed that. Okay. Now there was I just forget. There's so much wrestling. What was the palate cleanser between the two Rumbles? Was there more than one match? Was I asleep? Did I watch the show?
So I think right after the Women's Rumble was Lacey and Bayley.
Okay.
So I think that match fell flat, not only because it was a meh match, the crowd was burned out already from the Rumble. So
gotcha.
Plus, you're pushing Lacey Evans into a baby face position that you didn't work her way into it. You just all of a sudden was like, one day she's heel, and now she's not. Like her.
You're a Marine and you have a little girl.
There was no story to tell her turn or anything. So people are just kind of like, huh? But yeah. And then again, I don't know what they're doing with Bayley and Sasha. Oh, what's up, Chris? I am a sexy MFer. If anybody is looking to listen to really good music, Chris Lawrence Music, find it online. That's my boy. He's out in New York, recording artist, producer, and legit, like, should be like Grammy winning. That's how good he is. So check him out. Chris Lawrence, check it out. Music.
Chris Lawrence is fantastic.
Spotify, all that. It's my boy right there.
Got to see him in Rochester or Minneapolis a couple of times. Yes, very good. Thanks for stopping by, Chris. All right, so Lacey Evans, what's her face? We talked about that. Bayley.
How did you feel about Asuka and Becky, because you are an
Dude,
Asuka mark, my friend.
I will say this. I absolutely loved that match. And I loved it because it was, I think it played to Asuka's strengths. And I think it showed how good Asuka can make somebody else. Because let's be honest, Becky has gotten better, but she still isn't the best wrestler. She's got great charisma, but Asuka really made that. And let's be honest, who's her friend?
Kairi San.
Yeah, I get them all confused with the names. Kairi saying I wanted to say Io Shirai the whole. I'm just like, that's what I meant. I'm like, that's not right. But I like the way that she is even tinier than anybody else. I mean, she makes Alexa Bliss look like a 6-footer, and she just prances around that ring, and it's like I'm surprised Kairi Sane. We watched on TLC. We watched her get her brain knocked out, and I'm just surprised she's not hurt more often. But anyway, having said that, I like the way it came out. I felt like it was a really good story, and although I would have liked to have seen Asuka win, I love the fact that she was ready to give her the green mist and didn't get it done. So overall, I was very entertained by that match.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I enjoy Kairi San and her umbrella.
Yeah, I get hypnotized.
Points at people.
Oh yes.
Did this do anything different for Becky though? As far as, do you think? Are you more into the what? Because I know you were not into Becky.
No, because to me, I don't know what they do with her now. I mean, other than fight Shayna.
Well, yeah,
and how can and see the thing with the thing with Asuka, if they would have let this go a little more, if they would have let Asuka win, Becky would have more sympathy the next time when she actually does go after her, and does, because clearly Asuka was going to cheat to win that one. Yeah, and if they would have let her green mister and pin her, and they came back, next pay-per-view and let her win, I think I would have felt better about Becky.
See, that's why I love wrestling. Is only in the wrestling world can you refer to getting green misted. Like, it's just great that we can say that. That's a thing.
More redness.
I don't know. I think this will do good to set up the Mania match of Baszler, Becky now back on the high horse of I am the best. I proved it now. I can beat anybody. I've beaten everybody. Now Baszler's going to come, you haven't beaten me. But I still feel after Mania, this all will tie into either a SummerSlam or Survivor Series match of MMA Horsewoman versus the WWE Horsewoman. I mean, Ronda Rousey ain't pregnant yet, and by this time you thought that would have happened. So, and they keep teasing her coming back. She even was like messing around on Twitter, being like, "So y'all thought I was coming back tonight, huh?" So I mean, it's gonna happen. It's just when.
Yeah. And then, Matt, was there a match after that? No.
Yes. Was Strowman
match?
Yeah, the strap.
Oh, the strap match. I like the strap match. That's so old school.
I'm just glad that the lights on
strap match. And yeah, absolutely. I mean, that gets 2 stars just for not being in red light. Because that man, that's just that red light's some bullshit. And
you're technical on your scoring like Metzler, aren't you?
Well, but no, it's like on TV it sucks. And then you and I saw it in person, and it still sucks.
Yeah, it's not.
So great. There's absolutely.
I think I went and got ice cream during that match, just because
I think you did too. Yeah, and I think it was, and you came back, and it wasn't ice cream; it was something else.
Froyo, bro.
Yeah, that's right, because you're healthy.
I had.
I know you were going on a cruise.
Yeah,
but I thought it was good. I thought it was credible. Like, to me, when when the Fiend takes finishing moves and just sort of shrugs them off, it's like, at some point he can't do that. I mean, if you go to the closest thing to him, if you go to the Undertaker in his prime, about the only thing the Undertaker would do would be the sit up, and Kane did that as well. But so that's, I mean, there's a little bit, I don't know. I mean, I have a hard time because it's a bit more cartoonish than I like. With the Fiend, although I like the idea, I just, but when I think about Luchasaurus, at least he can get his ass kicked. I still like the cartoon part of that. It's enjoyable. The Fiend is enjoyable. The Funhouse is enjoyable.
The Funhouse is great.
The actual wrestling is kind of,
which is sad because Bray Wyatt himself is a good talent.
Oh yeah.
Rotundo, whatever his real name is. Seeing Luchasaurus on the boat without a mask was kind of weird. Did you think so too? Because I've never really seen him without it. So when I saw him on the elevator, I was like, "That's what you look like." All right.
Do you still have a green tongue?
Well, no. No, I knew what he looked like, and I think the reason why he can get away without the mask is because he did Big Brother, and so like a lot of people already knew what he looked like. So, I don't think so. Rey Mysterio was on the first cruise, and I don't think you'd see him walking around without a mask.
No,
other people know what he looks like too, but yeah, no. I mean, I knew what he looked like. It was, I don't know. He. What did surprise me seeing him walking around was he was as big as Jake Hager.
Yeah,
he was big. But it wasn't until I saw them near each other that I was like, whoa. Because a guy that big should not be able to do what he does.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun match when they finally book that one.
Yeah.
I think Hager has one more Bellator fight on his contract. I think that's why this hasn't happened. But he was telling people when I was by him at one point that he has like a couple big months coming. So I don't know if that meant like he's got a fight and then he's going to debut. Like officially debut in a match. So I don't know. That'll be fun. Okay, so back to the Rumble though. I don't really care. Let's just talk about the actual men's Rumble because I don't really care about that Bray Wyatt match as cool, but I just don't really care.
Okay, fair enough.
The men's Rumble. Who was number one again? Do you remember?
I can't remember. Who was it?
Brock.
I thought you were being funny.
I'm surprised they didn't go longer. You know
I was really surprised too. I was also surprised at some of the people that they sacrificed when they had some. They got some guys that are in the back that they could have let him just heave over. I was surprised that Keith Lee didn't get to last longer. It was good for him to be in there with Brock, but I am surprised that and Strowman continues to be just a cartoon character. That is that guy is never going to get anything. How do you do the when you're in a Royal Rumble when you're supposed to throw guys out over the top rope? How do you get out so you can run around and knock down one guy? It's just that whole thing. I know it's not his idea, but that is the dumbest thing since the surprise roll-up.
But he's this era's Big Show.
He totally is, and he's totally going to be just unfortunately
main title.
Yeah, he's going to be unfortunately a gigantic buffoon the rest of the time he's there.
They had their chance to pull the trigger and they never did. They were afraid to do it. They didn't want to make Brock look weak. And they didn't at the Rumble either. I enjoyed it though. It was fun.
Oh, dude! I thought when Brock was throwing everybody out, I loved it because I'm a Brock guy. Eric, I got to meet Brock before he was with WWE when he was still in college. Because I am the announcer at the kindergarten through 8th grade state wrestling tournament here in Minnesota, and he came down with Shelton and somebody else. And they were signing autographs, and gosh, that was so cool. And they were so nice to those little kids. you can tell me whatever stories you want. I'm still gonna think Brock's a pretty cool cat. But I was surprised at some of the people that were sacrificed. John Morrison, why? What the hell? That's ridiculous.
There were a lot of guys that you're like, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point?
I mean, it did him zero good. There's plenty of
get a cool spot like he used to get where he's not out. His feet didn't he got back somehow.
Yeah.
No one did that in the men's.
No. But maybe that made Naomi's spot more special.
Maybe.
Even though hers was as impressive as it was.
I like
the feat of strength, the feat of athleticism. I mean, I was like, how is she doing this? But at the same time, I thought it was to build the ramp on that wonky.
Yeah, she should have jumped.
Thing that people break people through all the time. I'm like, you should have just jumped from the that was actually closer.
Or the other thing is, like, she's done it, but from the announcer's table before. That was when she took the chair and hopped it to the ring.
Yeah.
Why didn't she just do that again? Like, whatever. I know we don't have full on follow through on storytelling like
That's
that.
how it is.
Wrestling remember though. We remember when they do that. I forgot about
Naomi again. I think we skipped over that in the women's match, but it's great to see her back.
Who?
Naomi.
Yeah. And she wasn't. That was a weird one because I don't think she was really hurt, was she? Was she?
She was out with. Well, the Usos weren't hurt either. I think they all just kind of took some time away.
Court ordered time away.
Maybe. Or I mean, sometimes you just hear through social media or Meltzer or whoever, you just hear like, creative doesn't have anything for me right now, and I'm like, that's the word. I don't even know how that's a thing, but
I love that Colt Cabana took that and made it an even bigger thing, though. Created that for you. Shout out to Colt Cabana. He'll be in Waterloo this year, so if anybody comes to us,
nice
Waterloo, you'll see him there. Yeah, that was a weird situation because I feel like it was that when she got stopped driving drunk, and then the husband, I can't remember if it's Jimmy or Jay, got out and took his shirt off and was in the street trying to fight the cop, which I'm sorry, I clearly had to be the way to get her off from driving. You know what I mean? Here's the distraction, because you can't have, at the time, a huge baby face in the women's division. You can't have her getting drunk and driving. How dare you? Vince McMahon owns this company, damn it. So yeah, that was weird that they all kind of just, not the court date, so that was legit. That happened, but it was good to see all of them come back, because didn't the Usos come back this last week too?
Yeah, they were back a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, was it a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
Dang, I'm behind on my WWE. Well, how about Edge coming back?
Edge coming back, freaking fantastic.
The funny thing is, it's like a lot of people knew that was going to happen, but the reaction was still just priceless.
That was the rumor for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I couldn't bank on it. The fact with the neck injury and everything. But yeah, just goosebumps. He comes out and I had goosebumps. What a moment.
Yeah. And it couldn't happen to a better guy. He's such a good guy. One of the first wrestlers I ever got to actually do an actual sit down interview with, which should have probably only been 10 minutes, and it ended up going 45 because he just never told us to stop. He was just a nice guy. And again, married to Beth Phoenix, and she's a sweetheart. So they're my favorite couple ever in the world of wrestling. Man, and you can see it. He's not one that he can hide his emotions like that. So you could see it when he initially came out. He was he was it was I like that he's actually commenting. We miss you, Jason. Where are you? Yeah, it was a cool moment, and they let him go pretty far. I think he should have won, though. That'd have made it even better. Remember when Cena came back super early from injury, and then he won? Come on, 9 years out of the ring, you can't give the guy a rumble mat, a win. Let's have it.
Edge doesn't need it. Drew was the right call in my brain.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And man, when it looked like it was going to be Roman for a second, did you hear that stadium start to turn? It would have been awful. But yeah, that was those are special moments like that. We got one on the cruise with Judas when Jericho walked out. A lot of people who've seen that video going,
yeah.
Like, it's funny because Wes and I were talking about it. Wes was like, "Oh man, that sucks," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "I get it. He's a heel, but like that's his boat. Like he put that together the last 2 years." And I was telling him, like, it's not that we're cheering. We know everybody knows he's the heel. In any other setting, it would have been like, "Boo, you're the heel, haha." But Jericho somehow makes that cruise personal. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Like everybody ends up walking away and has a moment where they feel like that guy really made me feel like he was happy I was on his trip.
Yes, absolutely.
Even when it's just a 10-second interaction. So that's why it's like more, and then the how everybody gets along and it's the vibes that are going on, that was kind of just like the thank you to him.
Yeah.
Well, that's why that's like a real special moment on the boat when you hear everybody singing that. And then again, yeah, knowing the Edge might come back, and then when he does it, it's just, and that's a big stadium. Like, I'm glad it was in a bigger stadium too. Yeah, that was cool. That was probably better than Brian coming back, which was a big deal,
More surprise. I mean, yeah.
Maybe for me, but it's just,
I think with Brian, there were a lot of rumors that he was coming back, and it might have even been announced or leaked or something. Edge, I mean, like I said, we'd been hearing it for weeks, and I didn't let myself believe it. That one, and then the Hardys coming back.
Oh, that was great.
Big.
That was great. I remember when I heard that they lost the titles in ROH the night before.
The night before. Had a match against the Young Bucks the night before.
That was so good. And then it gives you hope too, because there's rumors going around now that Paige is eventually going to be on her way back now too, which would be amazing, because that's definitely a career cut way too short. She was really, in my take, Emma, the first NXT women's match really did set the tone for the women's evolution.
I agree.
And when it really did happen, those two kind of got lost in the shuffle because they were kind of old news already now by that point. And it was really sad. So like that would be a cool comeback. That would really be cool.
Is her neck injury similar to Edge's?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, because she referenced talking to him about it after she got her news. Another interesting tidbit that came out, which would have maybe made the cruise a whole different kind of way, is apparently AEW was going to bring Edge on before WWE, and then wanted him to debut at All Out. Well, whatever, was it All Out? Yeah, All Out in Chicago. Of course, Vince hears that, and it's no. You're going to be in my ring.
I think all that means is Edge is a smart businessman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he got a 3-year deal out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm obviously a huge AEW mark, but I'm glad Edge is in WWE. Seems, I mean, you see that look on his face walking down that ramp in front of those people. His wife is there too. I mean, obviously there are a lot of couples split between the two companies, but for them, it seems to, I mean, in my brain, it makes sense.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then Monday Night Raw, him and Orton, that was brilliant too.
Fantastic,
so good. Just you don't see that out of Randy, and you can see that he's being genuine. So like that's kind of cool, but like you do know that whole time that it's just coming, that RKO is coming. And then when it finally happened, it was just, and then the concerto.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's just like, now it's like, I can't wait to watch these guys have a Mania match. Like it's going to be an amazing match. I can't wait. And that's because they sold it so good on Raw. Like that's how they should be doing this. And I don't know why the rest of that product is not, but whatever. What can you do? Overall, good Rumble. I always like.
Oh, yep. I wanted to say there was another return that wasn't nearly as exciting. MVP. Apparently
it was less exciting for us because we had seen him 2 days ago on the boat.
Oh, no kidding! He was on the boat.
Yeah, he was on the boat with us.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which was really fun to see them at the Rumble because we'd literally seen them 2-3 days before, so that was really fun.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a big payday for him too. Comes right off a week-long cruise and then goes to the Rumble, and now he's apparently back on
Raw too.
He's got somewhat of a contract from what I understand as well, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. I guess they spoiled it though, because the way that stadium set up, there's a part where it's like glass you could see inside. So earlier in the day when people were lining up outside, they were doing rehearsals, and his logo came up on there, like clear, like they got a picture of it online. You can see it clear as day. So anybody outside would have been like, oh, that's what's happened. But I like that there were more surprises, and it wasn't just 10 from Raw, 10 from SmackDown, 10 from NXT, like we thought that was going to be. So yeah, I did enjoy it. And again, yeah, that Edge and Orton thing is going to be amazing. There's a chance Mania might actually be more than halfway decent this year.
Yeah.
And there's talks, and it won't happen this year, but there is talks of a 2-day Mania because of so many people complaining of a 6-hour pay-per-view or 7-hour pay-per-view.
Yeah, 7 or 8 with pre-show. Yeah. I mean, on TV it's hard, but being in a stadium that long, I can't even fathom that. What do the bathrooms look like by the end of that day?
Yeah, gross. Really gross. 32 was the last Mania I went to that during the Roman Reigns Triple H match. It was like, this isn't over yet. I'm over it. I'm ready to leave now. Like, I'm tired. But yeah, Tampa's looking like it might be a good show this year. So hopefully it works out.
All right. Real quick, I'm sure you guys were too busy to watch the NWA Hard Times pay-per-view. Baby, I'm on board with that because, God, it is so old school. It is what I watched when I was in grade school back in the 70s with updated stars, but it is still the same feel, and I cannot let go of that nostalgia. Plus, it's pretty good. In that small, tiny little studio venue, I'm a fan. And Aaron Stevens beats Big Papa Dump with interference from the question mark. How do you not love that?
I just love that you stick to the gimmick. You call him Big Papa Dump every time. I love
it. Because you know what?
Say that to his face when he's here?
Hell no, I'm not going to say that to his face.
Because that might.
I'm gonna holler when he hears me.
Better.
No, but he's a scary cat.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Don't say that if we get the chance to interview.
Eli Drake and James Storm did beat the Rock and Roll Express, which I'm surprised that a 63-year-old guy could hold on to the title for that long, let alone his pants or his bladder. Ricky Morton. Robert Gibson has the same eye affliction I do, so I have a soft spot in my heart for him, but I got way more hair than he does. So again, these guys have been around forever. Some people know when to quit. But having said that, it's that nostalgia again, and people love the Rock and Roll Express no matter how old they are. But I'm glad they don't have the titles anymore. And Eli Drake and James Storm, that's a different team. Thrown together guys just like the big guys do. Like the WWE throws together a couple of guys because it's convenient for them to have the tag titles. But anyway, and Nick Aldis beat Flip Gordon, and this whole thing between ROH and the NWA is going to get kind of interesting, I think.
See, and that's where I see when that stuff starts to kind of wind down. I think that's where we see AEW make a presence.
I think you're correct.
These companies work together, and I do think we see New Japan eventually hop on board. And I kind of think Marty's going to be the glue that brings a lot of all of this together.
I agree. Other than that, Samoa Joe gets a concussion apparently last night, which if you watch that tag match, KO did a fantastic job of trying to pull that out because they actually pulled Samoa Joe out of there, unlike what they did with Beth Phoenix, who was bleeding all over the place. Samoa Joe apparently got his bell rung pretty good.
Yeah.
So I really liked that match, even after it was done. When it was a handicap match, it was really entertaining too. And that was one of the better Raws that I've seen in a long time too.
For sure. Yeah. And then also, first of all, it's sad that Kobe Bryant died. We should just say that.
Yes, absolutely.
We should say it. That is really sad. That's a tragedy. Hey, right in time.
Well, I had to make my big entrance, right?
There it is.
Gotta be late.
And then also
better late than pregnant.
and then you came in at an awkward time. Also really sad that Rocky Johnson passed away.
Way to go, Jason.
Welcome, Jason.
Thanks for showing up.
I will tell you this. Just to get to some wrestling news since you just got here, Jason. Regarding the funeral, I don't know if you guys saw, people were talking about Pat Patterson and Vince McMahon. Apparently, they were drunk out of their minds at Rocky Johnson's funeral, doing all this stuff. If you listen to the Briscoe and Big A show, we talk about it. Obviously, the Briscoes and the Johnsons are a tight-knit family. Jerry Briscoe and Rocky Johnson tag team a long time together in the indie scene, traveled together. So Wes was actually at the funeral, and we actually addressed that situation. And just to sum it all up, then nothing out of the ordinary. Pat Patterson swore a little bit in the church. That was about it. And that's Pat Patterson. I don't know if you guys saw Pat on the cruise last year and got to talk to him. I've seen him at different events. That's Pat Patterson for you. Very lucky to hear him say anything without a few cuss words in it. So, but yeah, that was a weird thing that was going around. So. Jason, what'd you think of the Rumble?
The males was a cool two halves of a Rumble. So you had the first half, which is Brock just owning, and then you had Ricochet doing a low blow, which nobody is talking about.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
The cleanest baby face. The resident superhero.
Low blow, the evil guy.
That's a very good point.
Eye for an eye, ball for a ball, baby.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Running low on battery. I can get a cord. I'm going to get a cord.
Okay.
Chat Rumble for a sec.
So, yeah, other than that, I enjoyed the heck out of the Rumble. I thought the Daniel Bryan match showed why he is one of the top 20 wrestlers wrestling right now, if not top 10. And I say that because, you have everyone in New Japan and that kind of thing where it kind of skews data. But yeah, he put on a great match with The Fiend, and I heard you guys when I was on the phone. You had said something about you have to beat him somehow, and you compare him to the Undertaker sort of thing.
Yeah.
They have been telling a story of he's beatable, but you have to know what to do. That's what the Rambling Rabbit keeps saying, and they just haven't got to whatever the hell that is yet.
Oh, so this is almost like a role-playing game. This is some Dungeons.
Right? Someone just needs to roll a 20 on the information check to figure it out.
Oh, that's great. That makes sense, though, because I was seeing some, too, about some theories and stuff like that. So that would make so much more sense to why there's this split personality, the Funhouse, Playhouse, whatever, than the Fiend. And yeah, and at some point you've got to, because the bottom line too is if he ever has to have a match with Brock, who Vince is going to pick in that situation. So eventually he is going to lose. It's going to happen.
Well, my concern is Roman. Because Roman didn't win doesn't mean he's not going to face the Fiend.
That's very true. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, because McIntyre is getting Brock for sure, right?
Yeah, that's what he said on Raw.
I missed the beginning of Raw when he came out. So I mean that match will be great alone, but yeah, it's gotta be Roman, right?
Who else is there?
Yeah,
you can't call up Sami Zayn.
Oh, jeez.
You know what makes me sad though is I thought this was finally going to be the year of Owens.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They did the stuff with him and Shane. He was starting to, get those Steve Austin comparisons. What was it, 2-3 weeks ago? He was doing parkour off the damn entrance.
I did really enjoy the promo on Raw last night, though. Him and Joe talking to Seth with, I thought that was really good from both. Obviously, Kevin and Joe are obviously two of the best talkers in the business.
Right.
And Seth is not bad.
And midway through there, I'm sitting there going oh, just attack them, you know, like as babyface is like you're gonna play the fool as it is anyway, so just go do it, get over this.
Right.
So they're in the dressing room. So okay, great, yeah, perfect.
Right. And now the other thing with Raw though, they didn't really play anything up with the Liv Morgan Lana stuff, did they? Like I just seen that they barred Rusev and Bob Lashley in the ring, and then those two had the match, which Lana won.
No, Liv won.
Liv won. Oh, and quickly too.
Oh, and I turned it off, unfortunately.
She got a cool new finisher.
Yeah.
Lived it?
I'm digging the Liv Morgan stuff. I just like, what are they gonna do with her though? Like, and for how quick she beat Lana on Raw last night, like that can't be a thing that comes to Mania.
Liv Morgan's got some potential because when she's moving around in there, she looks really powerful.
Right.
And
Vince likes her because she's blonde.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, but I could dye my hair blonde too, and I wouldn't be nearly as powerful. Actually, my hair is I do dye my hair. It's a new Just for Men color called Used Mop.
Nice.
But either way, yeah. I mean,
have you used that?
I use it all the time, dude. I use it where I mean, some of these are my pocket jokes that I use when I run into somebody that says, "Oh, tell me a joke."
Yes,
and then you pull out crap like that.
That's like the worst thing for a stand-up guy. Hey, oh, you do comedy? Tell me a joke. Let me hear something.
Fish.
Yeah, I never go to the hospital and say, "Hey, doc, show me an operation."
Oh, that's hilarious. That's good stuff. But
we digress.
That's too funny. Do you guys think they're gonna like what's going on with Dynamite as far as storyline though for Revolution?
I think the main story that's going on right now is Kenny, Bucks, and Hangman, as we've seen those. I think the turn. I believe we're going to get Kenny and Hangman at Revolution.
Okay.
You think the turn's going to come before that?
I think the turn's going to come before that. It's going to be them versus the Bucks. I feel like that is the storyline where Hangman goes too far, and that causes Kenny to be like, "What the hell's going on?" And he, goes after Kenny. That's my feeling on it, and that feels like storyline A, while storyline B is MJF and Cody. They're building towards that. Hopefully Wardlow actually turns out good. I haven't seen him wrestle yet.
Right?
In a steel cage.
No kidding. I think I'm looking the most forward to is the Jericho Moxley match.
Right.
Just knowing that they've worked together before and knowing that they've been in both places together, just the experience, what they're going to be able to bring, because they're going to be able to do stuff in this match that Vince would have probably been like, no. So I'm excited to see what they can put together,
Right.
I think that'll be a good match. I don't know what they're going to do with the women's title, though. Like, Riho has to have a match. Who's it going to be? How they're getting there?
I mean, the Brandy vignette was really cool recently.
Yes.
That it was just put on YouTube.
Oh, at the psychologist?
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. I'll have to see this.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time,
Brandy's not going to be the next women's champion, though. I mean, Sheeta is great, but I feel like you get the same thing from Sheeta that you get from Riho.
Is it Chris Statlander versus Sheeta? Is how they build up to who faces Riho?
Well, that, or do you feel like they're really jumping this Britt Baker heel turn in hopes that she gets the match with Riho?
If she was a better wrestler, I'd say sure.
But that's the reason, because they've been putting her on consecutively so much lately that I feel like that's what they're doing. They're trying to get it all in so she can be polished by Revolution, which isn't going to happen. But
she literally just tweeted, well, not just, but earlier today tweeted that she drove from Pittsburgh to Cleveland to train with Candice and Johnny today before the Cleveland Dynamite tomorrow. So, I mean, one training session is not training 4 days a week. Like, she's still, she went to school, she paid her dues, she wants to have her dental practice,
right.
but
And we've seen she's been in decent matches.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when she's against people who are good, she can be carried to a good match.
Yeah.
But I don't doubt the Riho match, if that's where they're going with it, would be great. You know, at least good. Because I haven't seen Riho have a really bad match yet.
Right, yeah.
But that doesn't mean that's where they should go.
Right, yeah, right. Yeah, I don't the thing with Britt Baker too, and I noticed this during the Dynamite on the boat, is like she couldn't get the audience, and I get it. We were a little bit more of a rowdy crowd on the boat because everybody was on the boat having a good time. But again, still, she couldn't really pull the audience during that segment with Shivani, and it just didn't like. And I watched it back, and it still didn't come off well.
Well, then they cut it off, which was
Yeah, it was
no sense. The whole thing was pre-recorded. You couldn't have cut something else. You cut it in the middle of her promo.
But this will be the thing with AEW that's always going to haunt them, is they have not figured out their production when it comes to the PIP. They haven't figured it out because they are doing too much when that picture-in-picture pops up. That it's like, what are you doing? No, I want to see that, or we need to see this to know what's going. And you're just killing it now. And yeah, and that thing with Tony Schiavone went on for a little while, and it just. Like, I felt like people booed her, not because of what she said, because it was just getting kind of awful.
Well, and my thought on it, too, is like, it's she wasn't getting the crowd the way she wanted to, and then we started cheering for Starbucks. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it threw her off her game.
True.
So maybe that's why they cut it. But
That's true, too. But it also, too, I think it just didn't make any... I don't know. I know she did some stuff on commentary like a week or two ago, right, where she was kind of being heel about it. And I don't know. There's just no rhyme or reason. Like, I feel like if we're going to do this, just have her go. Because I know she started the whole thing with Rio's never here.
right.
But when she did that, I was like, Rio hadn't been on in like 2 weeks. But I mean, like, Brock Lesnar's never on, and he's still like top of the card. Like, what's it matter?
Well, but there's a difference between Brock and Rio, don't you think?
Well, yeah, I think there is, because isn't Rio still doing dates overseas? So, I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, it's like, this is AEW's allowing their talent to do. So, like, how are you playing this in the storyline? Everybody's doing indie dates still.
I kind of feel like about 3 weeks ago, when they had kind of this multi-woman match where they were really talking up what the rankings were, and Britt Baker was like 5th. I think to myself, how can you have her go against Rio again when you've got all these other players?
Well, but that's just it. I think this is where we start to see the rankings have influence, but it's still wrestling, professional wrestling, and there's going to be storylines to where sometimes those rankings aren't always going to be the factor.
As they usually do when a babyface is turning heel, they make them lose a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And she's doing that slow burn heel.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't shock me. And she won on the boat, so it wouldn't shock me if it's just one of those slowly and she'll start going back up the list again.
Yeah. Who did she? What's that? Penelope Ford? No.
Cruz.
Penelope Ford.
Was it Penelope Ford she beat?
It's not Penelope Cruz.
No. I was thinking Priscilla.
On the cruise.
Yeah, I was thinking Priscilla.
Oh,
Okay.
well, which one on Dynamite? Oh, it was Priscilla Kelly. Yeah,
I think she maybe actually wrestled both of them at one point.
she did, but the Dynamite one was Priscilla Kelly.
That's right. Yes. Penelope. I'm glad they chanted Penelope at some point. Also, I think my new favorite chant, and I know you guys made a comment about it while we were there, but I don't know if you can. Yes. Why has no one ever thought of that before?
Right? Oh my goodness! And it's so much better than Too Sweet. Like,
Yes. So, did you hear this, Mask? I don't know if you could hear it on Dynamite. It was hard to hear it when it happened a few times. But whenever they would count to 2, or if there was like a 10 count, when they would say the number after, they would do Count from Sesame Street. Like,
That's perfect.
on the boat. That was what was happening. It was amazing. Yeah, I hope that's something that can keep going.
for sure.
It'd be unique.
Well,
It would definitely be unique. Do we see them add another title at Revolution?
Well, Kenny talked about the possibility of a 6-man tag belt, but not until next year.
He did confirm they were going to do that. Hopefully a tournament next year is kind of what the reports are.
I would love to see a TV title or something like that, but Who knows? I mean, there's so many things that they said that they would never do that they're doing now. Like they said there wouldn't be a 6-man title. Now that's confirmed. They said they wouldn't do intergender wrestling. They did that now. So maybe we will see a TV.
But don't you think a lot of this is due to the fact that now they're going to have to produce an entire another show as well?
Good point. Yep.
And that's where I was thinking maybe the other belt could be on there, not necessarily on that show, but as that's where that gets defended a lot of times too, or something like that, is to build interest on that show.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what belt that would be, because I know they want to do a female tag, but they need
more women.
They need more women, and they need to figure that out. Like in my head, like that's the perfect place for Britt Baker, is make her a tag wrestler, because you can hold her a little bit more, and she can get the experience she needs.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of people inside AEW right now who are female. And it's just because the talent pool got wiped out by the Mae Youngs.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Which, by the way, seeing is it Mercedes Martinez in the Rumble was a cool to see her get to finally get signed by WWE, because she always put on a great show in the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah, and she was number 30 or 20, however many women there were in the AEW Women's Battle Royal. She was the last entrant.
Yeah, that was awesome. So, I mean, I always heard that they wanted to do something for Dark, like they wanted to add an AEW Dark title. Now that they have the extended TV deal, that makes sense. Yeah. And I also thought initially that whatever the ring is that MJF was wearing, I thought that was going to that tournament. I thought that was going to be for a title.
They supposedly said that's going to happen every year.
Somebody wins the ring, but it's not like a Money in the Bank type thing. Yeah. It's just
so that's their version of King of.
Great, good for you.
Right.
You win
Stinky is stinky.
But people care.
Why is it important?
Yeah.
I mean, it's working for King Corbin on WWE, so.
It's true. I guess, yeah.
He got to pour dog food on somebody, so. He's living the life.
Who doesn't, though?
You just poured dog food on a cancer survivor. How do you feel about yourself today there, King Corbin? That's just so weird that that's what they did.
They told me to do it.
Storyline.
I mean, come on.
Not even the premium, wasn't it? Like Alpo, it was
cheap
dog food.
Well, you don't want to give them the good stuff. That's what they have to eat down the road.
Yeah, right.
It had to be. You see, it had to be. I don't even think it was dog food. I think it was some type of soup that had dog food label on. Yeah, because it looked like it ran way too much for dog food. That stuff came out of that can. Like if you've opened up a can of wet dog food, it's like it sticks in there like slip.
Canned chili.
I mean, I thought that was going to lead to a loser eats dog food match.
Yes.
Hasn't happened. So
how has it not happened? Yeah.
I was assuming it had to be leading towards that, right?
Well, I think we all thought, speaking of things leading to a stipulation match, we never got Andrade versus Rey Mysterio, hair versus mask.
Yeah.
Might have.
And that's the thing with Rey Mysterio right now. That's just a weird booking. I don't know if they know what they're doing with him right now, but it's all signs point to Dominic debuting and why they wouldn't be a tag team for a little while. That's just the perfect storyline. They tag up, they become tag champs together, father and son. He stabs his dad in the back. They lose, or after they lose the title somehow, and then Ray's retirement match will be with his own son. How does that not happen? That has to happen.
Look it.
It's the perfect storyline, and it's right there for them to use. And they keep teasing it. And that Dominic is good, man. He sold the crap out of Lesnar. That's not easy.
Maybe that's all he knows how to do is sell right now.
Maybe, yeah.
Running the ropes.
Right. Just growing up, all he had to do was bump for Ray. Come here.
Come on, son. Try it again.
Fine. Tuck your chin. You'll be fine.
Lean against the chair as I swing around and kick you.
Right.
Stay to practice. Stay still.
After dinner, I'll kick you some more, son.
How about this? We'll end with this, I think. What's everybody's guess? That is, and I'm really mad that this is still happening, but what is in Eric Rowan's cage? I don't know how this didn't get revealed yet. They really are egging the storyline on.
I'm shocked he didn't chase Paul Heyman around the ring with it after he got eliminated right away.
Yeah.
Right. Like I thought he for sure was going to do something with it last night or on the Rumble. But how? And then he didn't even really do anything with it on Raw the next night.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, he bounced that local talent, and there was not even any cage shenanigans.
No.
My opinion is this: one of two things. Number one, in honor of Bobby Heenan, it's a weasel in there.
No.
I like that.
And so that's guess number one. Guess number two is that at some point Eric Rowan will just go away and we'll never know.
Well, that's the WWE way, right?
It is.
Totally.
We're gonna get the Pulp Fiction ending. And
That's totally what's going to happen. Yep, that is what's going to happen. I'm so mad that they're still going along with this. Like, it needed to be revealed and it hasn't. It's bothering me, but awesome. Mask, before we go, I want to just run down more Waterloo stuff because I don't think we talked about it, did we?
We talked about it a little bit, some of the talent that was announced to be there, but you may have more current information.
Yeah, 2020 George Tragus Lutha's Hall of Fame, Waterloo, Iowa. Tickets are on sale. 319-233-0745. All access passes. I think they're either 100 or 150, which is a steal. We talked about being on a cruise ship and how accessible the talent is on the ship. Same thing in Waterloo. Like, you're just hanging out with everybody. It's a very, very cool deal. Tommy Richards going to be there. Shamrock is coming. Let's see who else.
Nash.
Colt Cabana, Kevin Nash, Ken Anderson, JJ Dillon, Brian B. Blair is going to be there. Of course, Jerry Briscoe, Wes Briscoe, like you said, Nash, Tony Atlas, General Adnan. And they just announced this week the first winner of what is it? It's the
Is it the one that Mark Henry won?
the winner of this year's Lou Thuz Award will be Trish Stratus. So
Trish Stratus,
one of the headliners of the weekend this year. So
Mark Henry won the other one as well.
Yes,
right?
Mark Henry. I didn't see his picture here, but Mark Henry will be there as well this year. So I think he's got the Jim Melby. No, Jim Melby. That was the media. I don't remember what one.
He won the Nice Guy Award.
Yeah, the nice. Yeah.
Done the most for wrestling or something like that, right?
He win every award for Sexual Chocolate alone.
Sexual Chocolate and Dog Food.
Greatest theme song in the world. What? Like, that's just the best. Like, how that gimmick didn't go on forever, I'll never figure out. Because no one else could be Sexual Chocolate but Mark Henry.
Honestly, if I go down there and meet no one other than Mark Henry, I'll be happy.
Yeah. Oh, totally. And I want him to sign everything that says it's Sexual Chocolate.
I want him to sign a Hershey bar.
This man made a gimmick go over where he was banging like a 90-year-old woman and then she birthed a hand. Like, I mean, no one else could do that. No one else could do that. Or just like when he stuck his hand down the transvestite's pants and realizes it's a guy. Like, that gimmick was just so good for so many great moments on TV.
Aside from that, he's a fantastic human being too.
This is true. Very true. So yeah, that's going down in Waterloo. So everybody should be there. Get your tickets. It's going to be a good time. We'll be there. Briscoe and Big Ace will be there. Who again are doing a live show. I think Friday of the weekend. Not sure on time. Not sure on the exact room. And again, we started talking about our guest. Once we confirm, we'll make that announcement. But yeah, big names. So it's gonna be a good time this year.
All right. See, there you go. Were you coughing? All right. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, I will say it was fantastic to have you on for the whole show, Erica, and great to have you join us too, Jason. This was a lot of fun.
This was tons of fun. Thank you so much for having us.
And you're certainly welcome anytime. And really enjoyed hearing your stories and impressions about the Jericho cruise because I didn't get to go, and I'm now we're gonna have that deck the deck room with the fishing pole and the salmon, a nice salmon, probably marlin. I want to catch a marlin on the Jericho cruise,
and I hope you do.
And if I don't, I'll still probably be happy.
Another t-shirt, Matt.
Yeah, there you go. And and my old Bucks outfit.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm gonna have to find somebody to make me some pants like the Young Bucks, except they're gonna have to be way bigger and probably more stretch than spandex.
What would you do instead? Would you still do the fringe, or would you do something to make it like
Oh no, I'd do the fringe. I'd be like a young buck.
Well, if you're going to be an old buck, I think you need to do the fringe on sweatpants.
Oh,
there you go.
That's what I'm. There has to be something. Or like suspenders.
You got to wear the Velcro shoes from Walmart.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can do most of that myself. I can put fringe on sweatpants with a stapler.
There you go.
That'll work. I just hope those pants will get through TSA. Like, it's setting it off. What's all this metal in your pants, sir? It's because I'm
super kick. That's the real question.
I already figured that out. I won't be able to do a super kick. It'll be a super creek.
Nice.
Sorry, real quick. Speaking of super kick, did you catch on Raw last night that Drew McIntyre was talking about a Claymore party?
No.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
It's gonna be a Claymore party.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm good for friendly banter between companies as long as it doesn't get to the Bischoff McMahon level that Raw and Nitro did. As long as it doesn't get there, I'm good with the banter.
Yeah.
Good with the little shots every once in a while, but let's just still do your thing. But that's did you guys see the video of Glasgow, the pub in Glasgow react when he won? That was
that video.
Oh, I haven't. I just saw the video of the Scottish guy from the cruise reacting when Edge came out.
Oh, I did see that. I saw that too. But yeah, no,
I'll have to find that video.
Yeah,
the
pub in Glasgow, they had a viewing party, and when he won the Rumble, like they were like, you would have thought we won the World Cup or something. Like it was nuts in there.
Cool.
Yeah, check it out, and then I'll see you guys in March.
Yay! This is your friend's couch right behind us.
Yeah. Heck yeah. I'm going to go out there and watch Dynamite with them. So it's going to be a good
time. Awesome.
Great. Thanks again for having us, guys.
So great to have you with us. And for all of you that have been watching, we appreciate it very, very much. Next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, we'll be here live. Will we have guests? Maybe.
Never know.
Probably not, but maybe. We hope we can. Maybe I'll find somebody at the convenience store that'll be on. Other than that, thank you guys all so much. Erica, Jason, thanks again. Big Ace, we will see you next week. And folks, tune in again for the Masked Comedian X-Cast right here on your favorite platform.